Breaking news coming down late Wednesday. Alex Bregman has signed a 3-year, $120 million deal with the Boston Red Sox. It's being reported that Bregman turned down a 6-year deal worth $170 million in favor of signing with Boston. There is Bregman, the longtime Astro, 9 seasons there, 2 World Series crowns. We dive into it. Jon Morosi with us. Your reaction to this big late-breaking news.
Tony, this is significant news. First of all, we can now officially begin spring training now that Alex Bregman has signed. This was really the last major bit of news we were waiting on, and there were a number of teams still involved, the Cubs, the Tigers. There was still that lingering possibility that he would go back to Houston, but this changes, Tony, the American League East, because the Boston Red Sox now have a legitimate lineup to threaten that of the New York Yankees, and here's why. The Yankees have lost Juan Soto. Yes, they were able to add in Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt, but Bregman is a proven postseason performer who they can now add into this lineup with Rafael Devers. They've got a promising group of young players coming in, like Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, Marcelo Meyer at some point, whether it's this year or next year. And here is what the lineup could look like. It's interesting that we have it on the graphic, and it's a very legitimate question where exactly Bregman's going to play, because he could play second, but that would mean that Christian Campbell would not be in the lineup. If Bregman were to play third, that means Devers is the DH, and Masataka Yoshida could be on the move via trade. So there's still some secondary and tertiary effects of this signing for the Boston Red Sox, but John Heyman was first to report it. And Tony, the key thing here is flexibility on both sides. Bregman gets that $40 million AAV, but he can opt out after 25. He can opt out after 26. And the Red Sox avoid that sort of long-term commitment that could really impact the long-term future of someone like a Christian Campbell.
This prompts the question, what's next for Nolan Arenado?
Yeah, Tony, it's a great question that you ask, because Arenado is now that next domino to fall with the third base conversation. A lot of the same teams we were hearing on Bregman had interest as well in Nolan Arenado, and the 10-time Gold Glover, one of the preeminent defenders of his time at any position. It seems as though his time with St. Louis is winding down, but they've had a hard time finding a team that can take on the entire salary. So the natural pivot could be the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers maybe weren't the team that Arenado thought he was going to at the outset, but certainly the Tigers right now, Tony, a better chance to make the playoffs than the Cardinals have. A young team in Detroit that would certainly benefit from Arenado's leadership.